Hey Jets fans, I know you're flying high after week 1 against the Lions, but it seems like your season is coming crashing down.
That was terrible!
Horrendous!
I'm offended!
I'm appalled!
The truth is, it's hard to shit talk the Jets, mainly because there's really no history between our franchises. All time, the Broncos hold a 12-6 record against the Jets since the merger in 1970. There's only been one playoff game between these two teams. That was back in 1998, which the Broncos won. So there's not really a whole lot of animosity between our two fan bases. I think at the end of the day, whichever team wins, neither side is going to feel humiliated because this is a fan base that's getting the better of them or a team that's getting the better of their team that, drives them crazy. Much like what we saw last week with the Broncos and the Chiefs. Really, it's difficult to comment on anything after that game against the Chiefs, except for that the Broncos desperately need a win in order to keep their season alive. I think we should first start with the offense, and that is to immediately state off the bat, I am done with Case Keenum. I said it in my last video. I said it in the prediction video for the Chiefs. I'm done with this guy, okay? But with that being said, he should get the start against the Jets, and he is going to get the start. I don't really think we should be going to Chad Kelly right now because he's a complete unknown. I think that we need to stick with Keenum at least through this week. And depending on the performance, potentially we go to Chad Kelly against the Rams. And I can justify this in my prediction video for that when we get there. For the moment, let's focus on this. So, with Case Keenum being in this game, he's going to be going up against a mediocre but effective secondary. It's mediocre in the sense that the coverage is weak, but they have come up with good interceptions this season, and they've also come up with a lot of big plays. So most notably is like safety Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams already has a sack this year. He's being brought in the box. He's making a lot of plays on the quarterback, but he's also not that bad in coverage. Morris Claiborne, he's also playing well. But for me, the big concern is middle linebacker Darren Lee. The reason why Darren Lee is a big concern for me is because Darren Lee is going to take away a lot of the passing lanes over the middle. He's been really good in coverage this year, and I worry that Case Keenum is not going to pick up Darren Lee in the passing plays, and I worry that that's where some interceptions are going to happen. So if Case Keenum is going to have success and not throw an interception, he's going to have to make those good reads, understand that the middle of the field might be taken away, at least in the shorter areas, by Darren Lee, and he's going to have to be smart. He's going to have to make the decisions quickly, too, because we all remember the game against Baltimore where he held on to the ball too long. For me, the real question this week is how much worse can this really get with Case Keenum? We've already seen him go 3 weeks without a touchdown pass. Is he going to possibly stretch this into being 4 weeks in a row without a touchdown pass? Look, for as down as I've been on Case Keenum, I seriously doubt that happens, okay? It's kind of hard to have this many offensive snaps and not throw a passing touchdown. That just seems really difficult, and also when we just consider that this is a mediocre secondary. Now, I know the Chiefs' secondary was mediocre, but eventually something has to give. And so I feel like this is the week where Case Keenum throws his first passing touchdown since week 1. But it's going to be important for Case Keenum to be good because this is going to be potentially one of our first games where our run game is really challenged. The Jets have been really good at stopping the run. This is because guys like Leonard Williams and linebacker Avery Wilson have been really getting in there on the play, stopping the running back. And again, another interesting problem here is Jamal Adams. I've already mentioned him. With Jamal Adams, he could do a lot of impressive things. And right now, not only is he causing problems in coverage, he's causing problems with the run game, and he's applying pressure on the quarterback. So this guy is kind of doing it all right now. And As far as it goes for our defense, I'm just hoping to see a big improvement on tackling this week. Last week was absolutely not acceptable, and we just need to see that be improved. We just need to see them execute on all levels. This week, let's not have our coverage be bad. Let's have our run defense be good. Come on. It feels like every week we've got a new hole in the boat, and I'm sick of it. I just want to see them put it together. Furthermore, when we get a team to third down, we actually have to execute and finish the play. We have to get them off the field. We couldn't do that against the Chiefs, and that's pretty much the main reason why we lost. I mean, 2nd and 30, and then 3rd and 7. Do I need to say any more? Also, Joe Woods, I don't get it. Josie Jewell makes Team of the Week in Pro Football Focus. We all saw his impact. I mean, you can even go rewatch the game. It makes sense why he's not targeted very often, because it seems like whenever there's a tight end or a wide receiver who's available anywhere near Josie Jewell, it seems like a dangerous and reckless throw to throw there. So why is it that we don't see him on the field more? Surely Brandon Marshall or Todd Davis are not the only play callers on this team, and frankly, he deserves to be on the field more than Brandon Marshall does right now. And I'm sorry, that's just a fact, okay? At least until we can see Brandon Marshall really step up his game, especially in coverage. Last week against Travis Kelce was embarrassing. Now, I know that it sounds like so far I've been down on the Broncos, but I actually think that they're going to win this game. Listen, Sam Darnold is a quarterback I watched a lot of at USC. He's impressive, but he's not figured it out in the NFL. He makes a lot of reckless plays, and that's why I think we're going to win. I just think with this team, Sam Darnold cannot get away with his reckless plays, and I think he's going to throw a lot of picks. Like I said, I think this guy's going to be good one day. You watch the game film of that Rose Bowl against Penn State, you could see what this guy could potentially be doing in the NFL one day, but that's not right now. So I'm going to say that Sam Darnold, he's not going to have a good game. I'm seeing like one of those 1 touchdown, 2 interception type days for him. And I think that the Broncos are going to capitalize on it. And with those extra possessions, well, not extra possessions, but extra time on offense, we're going to really put up the points this week. So long as we don't have, these 3 and outs and these bad possessions again, I think we're going to pull this off this week. I've already mentioned that Sam Darnold's reckless play is a big factor as to why I think we're going to win this week, but none of that matters if Case Keenum can't finally figure out how to execute. I need Case Keenum to figure out how to play in the red zone. And if he can do that, we should win this game because, frankly, we're the better team on paper than the Jets. I'm not even sure how many Jets fans would disagree with that. The Jets are at the very start of their rebuild. I think that they know that they have a long future ahead of them. Tom Brady's getting older. Their visions are beyond this season. But as for Sunday, we are currently the better team. And in my opinion, we should win. If Blake Bortles can have a pretty good day against the Jets, I don't see why Case Keenum can't. That doesn't change the fact that I'm still done with Case Keenum and that I eventually do want to see Chad Kelly start this season. But as long as we have a winnable game that we should be winning, we need to go to Case Keenum because he gives us the best chance to do that. So this game is essential for this season for a few reasons because there's 2 outcomes. Of course, there's the tie, but fuck a tie. If the Broncos win, they'll be 3-2, and they could potentially claw their way into a wild card spot, right? Potentially. Even in that scenario, I still think at some point they may even have to bench Case Keenum, unless he figures this all out. At the end of the day, even if we win, it's still going to be a week-to-week thing where our season could be over at various points throughout this season. But I'm telling you right now, if we lose this game tomorrow and we become 2-3, this season is over, and I'll tell you why. It's because when you look at the schedule for the rest of the season, there's like 2 games left that we have this year where I think it's a very high expectation that we should win. And those 2 games for me are the Arizona Cardinals game, which is coming up in 2 weeks, And then the game against the 49ers, which I believe is in December, Jimmy Garoppolo has torn his ACL. San Francisco's still not really figured out their defense, and CJ Berthard, I don't know how to fucking say his name. I don't really think he's all that great. Watch him throw 7 touchdowns this week, though, and then that takes away another winnable game. But okay, getting ahead of myself. If we don't win this game, let's frame it this way. The 2018 Broncos couldn't beat a New York Jets team led by a rookie Sam Darnold. And that's not a shot against Sam Darnold. It would be like if a team couldn't beat a rookie Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, as we all know, had a pretty good career, but his rookie year, he wasn't very good. So if we lose to a Sam Darnold-led Jets team in 2018, I got news for you, all right? We need to seriously be considering the draft, okay? It's time to accept the fact that the season might very well just be over if we lose this game. But do I think we're losing this game? No. This is the Jets. They're not that good. We're at least competent. So, barring Case Keenum having another week where he doesn't throw a touchdown and throws some interceptions, or Sam Darnold absolutely goes off and figures out how to play at this level, the Broncos should win this game.